Disabled gamer dies at 25, but what his parents find on his computer leaves them in tears. When Mats Steen from Oslo, Norway, closed his eyes for the final time, his parents, Robert and Trudy Steen, thought they already knew everything about him. But shortly after his death, something unexpected began to unfold. You see, since childhood, their son had struggled with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, a condition that slowly weakens every muscle in the body. By age 10, he was already using a wheelchair. As he grew into his teens, his friends stopped knocking on the door, and his world began to shrink until he found a new one inside video games. From then on, he spent most of his time in his room, exploring that digital world through his computer. By the time Mats turned 25, the only thing he could still move were his fingers, so he used a specially designed keyboard to stay connected to his computer until the very end. After his passing, Robert decided to write and post one final goodbye message on Mats's blog, the one his son had created a year earlier, hoping to let his online friends know that he had passed away. Then, hundreds of emails suddenly started pouring in from people all around the world, people Mats had never met in real life. Almost every message said the same thing: Mats saved my life. His parents were confused at first, thinking it must be a mistake. After all, he rarely left his room. How could he have saved anyone? But as they began reading through the messages, they finally learned the truth. Their son had lived an extraordinary second life inside a video game called World of Warcraft, where he was known as Lord Ibelin Redmore. There, he wasn't just a player, he was a knight, a leader, and a friend. He built alliances, hosted weddings, and listened to people when no one else would, making them feel seen and giving them hope during their darkest nights. One man wrote, "When I lost my job and thought of ending it all, Ibelin told me, 'The storm passes if you just keep walking.' I stayed because of him." As his parents scrolled through hours of chat logs, they became overwhelmed with emotion, moved to tears as they realized their son had never truly been alone. Some of his online friends even came to his funeral after being invited by Robert. And as Robert and Trudy spoke with them, they came to see his online world not as fantasy, but as legacy. Because while his body left this world, Ibelin's kindness remained, pixel by pixel, person by person, proof that a life lived online can still touch hearts in the real one.
6-year-old vanishes in the woods, but when rescuers find him, he isn't alone. In the quiet hills of Blount County, Tennessee, a normal Monday afternoon turned into every parent's nightmare. Just hours after 6-year-old Caden Leach returned home on South Hummingbird Drive from the hospital, where he had been treated for an upper respiratory infection, he was gone. According to his caretaker, Alexis Herod, Caden had been playing in the backyard with his 3 dogs around 6 p.m. when he asked for a temporary tattoo. She stepped inside for only a moment to grab a wet washcloth, but when she came back, Caden and all 3 dogs had vanished. Panicked, Alexis searched the surrounding area, calling out his name. But after an hour of searching, there was still no sign of the little boy. Only 2 of the dogs had returned home, while the third, a small black and white terrier named Chula, did not. So she decided to call 911, and that's when the search began. More than 100 first responders, neighbors, K9 units, SWAT teams, and even a Black Hawk military helicopter equipped with thermal imaging combed through the rugged, rain-soaked 2,000-acre mountain terrain. The night fell cold and wet. Crews formed grid lines and worked through the darkness, their flashlights cutting through the fog as they navigated steep, muddy slopes to search abandoned buildings, lake shores, and dense forest. Then, nearly 21 hours after the search began, as hope was fading, a breakthrough came. About half a mile from the boy's home, a faint voice called out, "Hey!" freezing a group of Blount County firefighters and deputies in their tracks. They paused for a moment, then pushed toward the sound, and that's when they saw him, lying on the ground. His lips were purple, his body shivering. But it wasn't just Caden that made them stop. Right beside him, pressed close as if refusing to let him go, was Chula. The loyal terrier had stayed with him the entire time, through the cold, through the rain, even growling at rescuers when they got too close, as if to say, "You'll have to go through me first." Only when she realized the strangers meant safety did she step aside. Rescuers immediately wrapped his small frame in multiple adult jackets, then carried him piggyback style up the mountain to safety and rushed him to Blount Memorial Hospital, while Chula was brought back home. That evening, he was released and reunited with his family. For everyone who had held their breath during the search, the ending was nothing short of miraculous, a reminder of how far love and loyalty can go, even from a 4-legged friend who refused to leave his boy's side.